Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. I hope you're all having an outstanding day. Yesterday's video, I asked you all if you prefer live commentary or post commentary. And a bunch of people commented and they said we enjoy the post commentary, so that's what I'm doing again. I'm just adding it after I actually play the game. So if there's any of you out there who enjoy my live commentary, make sure you speak up in the comments to let me know that, or else I probably won't be doing that many of those type of videos in the future. Anyways, with that said, we start off with a Soulbreaker. This game, we are going to end up going Glacier Knights, and I did choose this game for a very specific reason. So I think the comps that you should know in the current meta are Glacier Knight, Beast Warrior, Six Feather, either variation, either Hunter or Assassin, and then finally Six Assassin. I think those, if you have those builds in your repertoire, then you are going to do well in the current meta. So that's why I chose this game, because I've showed you all those in the last week, and yes, I planned out my content accordingly. What can I say? So anyways, we grab that, we get the goblins, we are going in, starting, I'm just going for the strongest thing that I can. Goblins pop up, not surprised, there we go. Now we have a 3 goblin synergy. There's a lot of times that 3 goblin synergy can carry you. A lot of you may be looking at this formation being like, Squirrel, what the hell is this formation? The reason that I'm experimenting with this is I came across this just playing, somebody was doing it, and then I started to think about the theory behind it, and it actually makes a lot of sense, and you'll notice that it works very well for me. So the theory is this. Goblins are individually pretty tanky because when you have the goblin buff and then also the regen, like Heaven Bomber can kind of tank, and you just need it to get its ultimate off. And the other thing is, the goblins, the ones that I have, they don't have AoE damage. So actually, by splitting on both sides of the map, what happens is the enemy teams end up splitting. So if they have, for instance, a God of War or Swordsman or any of these AoE type of frontliners that a lot of people do go for early game, then I'm minimizing the amount of AoE damage they're doing to my team. Because as you're going to notice, I have 3 separate areas that I fight. So let's look at this engagement and you'll see what I mean. So, and the reason I'm kind of explaining the theory is because I think this works for a lot, it works for other things besides goblins and besides just these heroes. So I just kind of want to explain the theory so that you all can understand. So if you notice, one enemy gets drawn to the Heaven Bomber, 2 enemies get taken to Skybreaker, and then the Soulbreaker comes up from behind. I do have 2 2-stars, so obviously that is making this, I would have stomped them anyway, no matter the formation, but as I said, I keep using this formation for quite a while, and in this game I was experimenting with that. So anyways, right there, I see an Evil Knight, I grab it. The thing to keep in mind about Glacier Knights is they are best if you are the only one going for Glacier Knights, or at most one other person's going, and they're a good comp to go into if you're lose streaking. They're also a good front running comp if you can get on a win streak. Sometimes it's hard to get on a win streak, but I really like to run them when I get good goblins, because like in this game I decided I really wanted to target them because goblins can carry you early and then you transition into knights, and knights are probably the strongest late game comp if you're not contested. And you'll kind of see how that evolves, and we'll talk about that more as this game develops. But anyways, we are still leaving our options open. If you notice, I segregate my bench. The left side is Beast Warriors, or I could also go Warrior Hunters, right? I could go Feather, and then to the right side is just the upgrades to what I'm currently running. So you'll notice a lot of times I'll split my board that way. I'll split it with like my comp A on the left, comp B on the right, and then I can see which comp I have more pieces towards as the game develops, and then I know which way I'm going to go. So now I hit a Fortune Teller pretty early. That is a really good Glacier piece to hit early, and I have the Hell Knight, so you know we're kind of leaning. But at the same time, I do have those warriors, but I'm still not committed either way. So at this point, I'm scouting. When I bring up the window, you'll notice a lot of scouting happening. By the way, like with the Queen of Pain, we talked about splitting up. If you notice, these AoE units, like our Phantom Queen, are not getting huge ults off on me because of the way that I split my team. So main things I'm looking for, are they grabbing Witchers? People who grab Taboo Witchers tend to go towards Feather. We discussed this in another video. I'm also looking for Garrus Rangers. Those are people who are going to target Hunter Warriors. And then obviously I'm looking, is anybody contesting me on Knights, basically. Like, hey, is anybody picking up Evil Knight? Is anybody picking up Argali, Hell Knight, Lightblade Knight? Those type of things. So it's at this point I decide I'm going for it, because what I saw on the last screen let me know that I'm not really going to be contested. Notice nobody's going for Knights. None of the key Knights are out. None of the 3-cost Knights have been taken. So things are looking good. I already have the strong Glacier with the Fortune Teller and the Desperate Doctor. So yeah, I'm pretty happy going that direction. And like I said, Knights are the build that I go to if nobody's going for them. If I'm in a game where nobody's going for Knights, I'm almost guaranteed to go for Knights, just because of the fact that you can front run them and you can lose streak into Knights quite well. So that's why if nobody's going for Knights, they are something that I definitely use. Okay, so here I don't need anything. I doubt I'll buy. Yep, so I don't buy there. So before, if I was still thinking Warrior Beast, I could have picked up obviously the Tusker, the Red Axe, and the Lord of Sand, but I have committed to Knights at this point, so I'm just going to go that way. So now when I'm looking at the screen, from now on when I scout the enemies, when I look at the scoreboard, I'm just looking, is anybody trying to pivot into Knights, right? Is anybody going to contest me? Round 10, people are starting to lock into their comps. Round 15, if there's nobody else going for your comp, in this case Glacier Knights or Knights in general, then it's almost guaranteed I'm not going to be contested. So here we go. It looks we are going to lose this round. And when I lose the rounds, so we've been discussing this too, because I think this is a very key point, is riding win streaks, riding lose streaks. So I wouldn't be surprised here if I start to, I probably will evaluate if I can get back onto a win streak. And if I don't think I can, then I will actually probably sell all my goblins and then just start going. But I hit a 2-star Soulbreaker and I get a Ripper, so you know what? I can build another win streak. So then I'm going to focus on that. Keep in mind, when you lose your lose streak, when you lose your win streak, it doesn't always mean you have to go to a lose streak. I mean, there's some cases like that where I just got unlucky. I matched up with somebody who beat me, and then I immediately got multiple upgrades to where I could probably have beat the team that just beat me. So, and I'm pretty sure that ends up actually happening. So, just keep in mind at all times. I think sometimes people take my comment the wrong way. When I say you should always be on a streak, that is really what I mean. You should always be on a streak. It doesn't mean it has to be a lose streak. It doesn't mean it has to be a win streak. And you can easily go for back-to-back win streaks, back-to-back lose streaks, whatever. So, anyways. We're probably looking at economy. Nice, hit another fortune teller. Ignore the stuff that I don't need, which I don't need that stuff. I gave up on the split positioning. I think if you run that type of split positioning, when people get to like level 6, I would stop doing that. Even around level 5, it's probably less effective. The reason why is because then they have too many heroes to focus down your separated heroes. So like basically they'll eliminate you one by one. And early, when it's only like three or four heroes, it's not enough for them to just instant kill heroes, especially if you have some 2-stars. So I think that's why the splitting works a lot better early. But like I said, level 5, 6, and you all can experiment with that, is probably when I would stop doing that, and I would switch to more standard formation. Okay, here. Another reason I love goblins early, by the way, is I can just put items on them, right? So there's some comps where I'm very hesitant to put items. For instance, when I'm going Warrior Beast, because I can't place items because I'm not going to sell those heroes. So for instance, like when I'm running 6 Warriors, I'm going to keep a Tusker. So I can't just put items onto him early game, so I end up sitting on a lot of items because the heroes that I'm grabbing at the beginning of the game are ones I'm keeping. When I'm running goblins like this, I can just use tons of different items on all the goblins because I guarantee that I'm going to sell them. So anyways, we are still going, and something I do want to point out in this game is, if you notice, it's already round 11 and I barely have knights built yet, right? And the reason I point this out is this is kind of bad luck, to be honest, because if you notice, there is not other people running knights, right? So that's why I keep checking the scoreboard, like, okay, are there other people going? And like this person has a 2-star Lightblade, right? So you're like, okay, well that's a knight. But no, because they're going feather, right? So you have to think when somebody's contesting you, you have to think, are they contesting me full build or are they contesting one hero? Okay, and as an example, this 6 feather player, they're not going to keep the 2-star Lightblade Knight. At some point in the game, I almost guarantee they will sell that 2-star Lightblade Knight because it is not optimal in a 6 feather composition. It's not optimal in 6 feather assassins, and it's not optimal in 6 feather hunters. So we'll keep looking at that. I think at this point I'm just making economic decisions basically, so sell the Ripper so we have the chance of getting up to 30 gold, and then mix up our formation. And at the same time, I might be trying to get on a streak here. I'll have to watch myself a little bit closer. So, Fortune Teller alts are great. Right when my Frost Knight was dying, he got alted, so that's great timing, and we are killing that, and it looks like, yep, we get up to our 30 gold. We look at the economy. Our economy is only behind the 2 people who are in last place, and it's technically behind the person in 4th place. Well, 4th from the bottom, so 5th place, but, I mean, it's 4 gold, and we're in the same interest range. So, same thing. I've just moved them. So you all have seen me before where when I start to get my endgame comp and switch in pieces, I have to reposition also. So the reason that I'm positioning in this way is because this is actually the position that I'll use for knights. So it's going to be quicker for me to switch in my endgame units into this comp. Another thing I'm looking at on that last screen is I'm looking at how many people are picking up the units that I'm targeting, and namely Berserker, because Berserker is highly, highly contested. If you run Glacier Knights, your Knights are generally going to be free. You're not going to have people contesting you for Hell Knight or Lightblade Knight unless they're also going Knights, but you're going to have a lot of people contesting Berserker, and you can see 2 teams already have Berserker, okay? So the reason that's important is I'm holding a Strange Egg. When you're holding a Strange Egg, you pre-plan where it's going, okay? Like, be scouting as soon as you get that Strange Egg, and keep in your mind what unit you want to use that on, okay? Because to me, I know I want to pick up a Soul Reaper, I know I want to pick up a Berserker, but if you notice, there's 2 teams who are contesting me for Berserker, and there's nobody running a Soul Reaper, so who should I save the Strange Egg for, right? That becomes a question. So anyways, that points out, and we're still building. So once again, I want to point out, it's round 14. I'm still riding these goblins. I do want to switch them out, but I'm not hitting knights. So why am I sticking to this knights? Why am I being confident in it? Because nobody is running it, right? Nobody is running, and we'll see that next time the scoreboard comes up. So at some point, you have to just trust the good play, you know? And anyways, here we go. It looks like... yeah, it looks like we're going to lose that. So that's unfortunate also, because we had just built up another win streak, I believe, and we lost that. But anyway, so I'm watching 1, 2 Berserkers, no Soul Reapers. Okay, cool. Looking at other people's economy, looking at their levels. Last place is starting. They built up that lose streak into a 50 gold economy, and they're going for Feather. And at the same time looking, are anybody grabbing my core knights? And see, if you notice, when these screens come up, there's no Argali Knights. There's only 1 Evil Knight, right? And it's a 1-star Evil Knight. And then that one person has a 2-star Lightblade, but like we said, they're not going to keep the Lightblade Knight. So anyways, that is how that goes. Wolfpack's coming. I definitely want to win this. So I'm guessing, yeah, we're going to position. And if I remember correctly, I think that I can win this round, so I don't want to spend the gold. And I should have spent the gold because I think I end up losing this round. Generally on wolves, when you could level, like I could level to 7 and put stuff in to make sure that I beat the wolves, you should do that if you're not going to beat them. I thought the goblins would carry me through the wolves, and I believe I end up losing to the wolves. So yeah, my, just a bad alt. Fortune Teller got a very unvaluable alt. He was already dying. We do kill a couple. It looks like we're going to kill 2 more of the wolves, but then we're going to die. So, yep. Unfortunate, but that's how it goes. So, same thing. As we're going here, we're looking lose streak. If you look at long, so the second from last place, they're on a lose streak. I'm looking for people on win streaks. Nobody's on a fat win streak, and there's only 1 person on a lose streak. And there we go, we grab some of our other knights. Keep in mind, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Argali is not a focus. He's not he's not in my build, right? So the 4 knights that I use are Hell Knight, ideally, are Hell Knight, Evil Knight, and Lightblade Knight, and then Frost Knight for the Glacier, obviously. So Argali is kind of optional. At this point, I'm probably just picking him up since I have so few knights that I just want to leave my options open in case I get him to 2-star. I can put him in instead of like the Hell Knight or the Evil Knight. So that's why I'm picking him up. But at the same time, I will not be shy to sell him. So now we're at that weird transitions phase. And when I'm going to transition out of my goblins and into my knights, I probably am going to try to ride a lose streak because I know I'm going to be weak anyways, and I have gold locked up in my goblins, right? So I have 3 different goblins at 2 stars, so that's 9 gold that's locked up in them. So at a certain point, I will pull the trigger, and that point will probably be when I start to heavily reroll, which we hit level 7, so I'm going to start rerolling for my end game pieces. So probably in the next round or 2, I'm going to end up selling goblins and start getting in my endgame units. Like, for instance, my Glacier. My Glacier we already could put in, and yeah, you're going to see. So there we go. So we're already starting to get rid of goblins, and I'm sure I'll sell that. Yep, there we go. And that's basically how I switch out. That's another common question people have, like how and when do you start to transition away from your early game? And it starts to be ride the pieces that get you on a win streak until you stop win streaking, and then try to switch them out as you lose streak. So I hope that's a clear answer to everybody. So the goblins helped me have a really nice win streak to start the game. We broke the win streak, but then we got back on another win streak with the goblins, and then we lost. Then we start to sell the goblins, and we ride a lose streak because our team is going to get weaker, so let's turn that weakness into a lose streak while we sell the goblins and slowly mix in our endgame knights. Bam, we hit our Lightblade, and we get our Berserker, and notice, see, sell a goblin, sell another goblin, and there we go. Put in my Berserker, get in my Glacier, and that is the goodness. So yeah, so that is a perfect example of that, and now we're just re-rolling and we start to grab stuff. So the only unit that we are missing is a Soul Reaper and upgrade. So at this point it just becomes roll and upgrade, roll and upgrade. Here I would say, okay, so that was a misplay. What was in my mind, I'm pretty sure, is I want to sell that Argali Knight so I can buy the Evil Knight. So I wanted to take the Argali out so that I could sell it, but I should have put in the Evil Knight, and that's just focus, right? It's just a mistake. I mean, basically just a mistake. But it's fine anyways because we're riding a lose streak anyways. So really what that would have done is just make us a little bit stronger. Like maybe we would have killed one more of these units. So it's not a huge mistake, but that's why that happened. So, okay, cool. So we're starting to get everything nice. We're pretty close to a lot of 2-stars on the stuff we want, and the only thing we need is a Soul Reaper, and then our 8-man team is all together. At this point, round 18 is when I start to think, okay, I need to be leveling at round 21. So do I want to reroll down to 30 and then I'm going to be low economy for the rest of the game, or do I want to just start spending this gold on leveling? So in this case, you can see I'm rerolling, and it looks like I am going to reroll heavily because I want to hit stuff. Keep in mind, the reason probably is that we know Berserker is heavily contested. 2 teams already had Berserkers, right? And next time we look at the scoreboard, I believe there's actually 3 teams now, not counting myself. So actually 4 teams counting me that have Berserker. So that kind of becomes my, oh, I better roll, right? Like I can't divert too much gold to leveling, or else I'm going to lose out the Berserker arms race. So there we go. And we are still sitting on that egg. And we are riding our lose streak like we discussed. And I'm monitoring our health. Okay, now we've dropped below 50. Dropping below 50 for me is normally something that's just kind of it's not necessarily a terrible thing, but it is an alarm bell. It's kind of like, okay, we need to start, we need to start thinking about winning, right? We have like a round or 2 to turn it around. So good, we get upgrades. By the way, the reason that I've been neglecting the Defector is because a Defector is not in my end game build either, because your 4 Glacier are going to be Frost Knight, Desperate Doctor, Fortune Teller, and Berserker. So we do hit our Soul Reaper, so now we have all 8 things we want, and now the thing becomes, is getting our Berserker to 2 stars. The Soul Reaper, once again, we're not worried about because every time we look at the scoreboard, so next time scoreboard comes up, notice that none of the teams have a Soul Reaper, but there are a bunch of teams with Berserker. So the Egg, Strange Egg, is for Berserker, and Soul Reaper, we're just going to have to manage our economy and try to get it. So the fact that I get my 8-man comp also means I should go to level 8. So I'm pretty sure I'll level here to go to 8 and put in my Hell Knight, and then I will be at my full comp. So there we go, and yep, start to reroll away. I'm not sure why I rolled there. That was probably a misplay. I probably realized, oh, it's round 21 and I should level, so that's probably why that one roll was off. That was definitely a misplay. So now we're starting to just get into our formation. I'll wait until later in the game to explain the position, so yeah, we'll just go with this now. But this position is intentional the way that it is, and later in the game I can show you where there'll be better examples of why I go for that position. So our Berserker Fortune Teller alt was great. If you notice, our Berserker lives through those assassins, and I think like 4 of them jumped on him, and we are crushing the other person. So we've been riding a lose streak, right? And now we kick it into gear. Okay, so it's round 21. We get our first win in quite a while, and now we want to start building a win streak. Okay, so we went win streak, it got broken, we went to another win streak, it got broken, we went to lose streak, and now we are trying to start another win streak. So I know I emphasize this, it seems, every video, but that's how important it is. That's how you get good at economy, and economy is the thing that will most directly impact how well you all perform. Like, builds are something you can go copy easily, right? Like on my website, I have almost all the meta builds. I show you what heroes you're looking for, and I show you how to position them, right? And that's the majority. That's going to take you all the way probably to like High Rook or King 1, right? Just copying. So that's why I think economy is really what a lot of you should focus on. If you're trying to hit King, economy is the thing you really, really got to focus on, and that's why I put so much emphasis on lose streaking, win streaking, how to manage your economy. So anyways, that looks like it's going good. Again, we're looking. Notice 1, 2, 3. 3 different teams with Berserkers. 2 of them have 2 stars, right? So there we go. Good thing we saved our Strange Egg for our Berserker. That would have been really rough for us. And I'm watching the other teams. It's very important to watch how you perform against other teams, because when you're riding a win streak, you need to know how close you are to losing. So I just beat first place. If you notice, Kira is first place. We beat them. But that was not, we didn't stomp them, right? And that could have easily went the other way. So that's something we need to be concerned with. Same thing, I'm looking for comps that kind of counter me. At this point, my quality is not great. I still have I still have 2 1-stars, my Evil Knight and my Soul Reaper. The Evil Knight really sucks because that's actually a unit I'm trying to make a 3-star out of. So the fact that I'm not hitting that is really bad. Also, one other team now has Soul Reaper. So I just saw one other Soul Reaper is picked up. So that is also something I will be considering is, okay, maybe I need to start re-rolling, just stay around 30, re-roll so I can get my Soul Reaper. And here we go. Oh yeah, I remember this now. Oh my gosh, this Siren. This person hit this Siren like, I think round 6, like something ridiculously early, and the Siren has an Orb of Refresh. If you could not tell, I just got turned to stone twice, so this person is the bane of my existence. So generally a Glacier Knight will stomp on a Hunter player, but that's, yeah, if a Siren doesn't have an Orb of Refreshing. Okay. So the Warrior we're fine against. That's not a concern based on the comp. They lost the arms race for the Berserker. And if you notice, by the way, first place has a better economy than me. And they've been in first place a very long time. Their health pool is better than me, right? So kind of as feedback to them, I would say they got too greedy. They should have rolled aggressively like I was to try to get their 2-star Berserker. Because if you're in the lead, you're the one, like, you're either giving people a chance to get back into the game, or you are crushing all their hopes and dreams and just stomping them, right? Yes, RNG comes into the game and maybe you don't always hit, but you got to play the probabilities, right? That's why I was re-rolling heavily, right? I was lose streaking, I had the economy to re-roll, and I'm going to use that. I'm not just going to sit there and build up to 50, because if I do that, that first place person hits his 2-star Berserker, and then I'm totally screwed at that point. So unfortunately, we did start to get our win streak, but then it gets broken by this Feather player. The feather is going to get me because of quality, right? Feather, a 6 feather is going to beat Glacier Knight if their quality is higher. So that person had multiple 3 stars. That's what I'm checking right now. See, they have 2 different 3 stars, and everything except their Lone Druid is at 2 stars. Or sorry, they have 2 3 stars, and everything else is at 2 stars minus the Lone Druid, right? So I still have a Hell Knight and a Soul Reaper at 1 star, and I have no 3 stars. So they're beating me because of quality. And that's just kind of how it goes. So a lot of time people talk about counters, and I think something that people don't consider when it comes to counters is a big aspect of counters is also tempo. And the reason tempo matters is because tempo leads to your quality, right? So the Druid players have a really strong tempo comp. They're going to get 3 stars before everybody else. But the thing is, if they don't close you out, if they don't kill you before you start to hit 3 stars, then they're in trouble. Like, look, I'm about to hit a 3-star Frost Knight, and then I'm building towards a 3-star Lightblade Knight, right? Here we go. Now we hit our Hell Knight. So if a Druid player lets the game go on long enough to where the Glacier Knight can catch up with 3 stars, then they're going to be in trouble. So hopefully that explanation makes sense. At equivalent levels, the Glacier Knight, I would say, does beat the Feather player. And yeah, this person. By the way, if you notice, I keep fighting this person. Like, it's just terrible luck. Like, I was honestly getting tilted by this because I just kept matching up against this person, and it's first place, and they're like the one team that beats me, and somehow I just keep playing them. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the second time I played them in the last 3 rounds. Actually, I think I just played them, yeah, last time in the 3 rounds, and I think I end up playing them even more than this, so it just like starts to get super annoying. Right now, I'm being blessed and or cursed by Strange Eggs. So I'm getting tons of Strange Eggs. We're getting close to our Lightblade. We're getting close to our Hell Knight. And yeah, 1 Strange Egg I do want to use on my Soul Reaper. Also, something about Glacier Knights, and I would be curious, maybe somebody who really has a great opinion on Glacier Knight, where do you put your mana items? To me, Soul Reaper is really the only one I want to put mana items on. I tried putting it on Fortune Teller before, but I don't like it because his shield just goes off too early and he doesn't save anything. So, oh yeah, see? There you go. Back to back, right? I just fought him last round, lost to him, I fight him again. It's like, okay, come on, game. There's still 6 people in the game. Why am I fighting first place who's the only person beating me back-to-back times? Ridiculous. Okay, never mind. He's not the only person beating me. The other person stomped on me too. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Cool. See, review gameplay and then you can feel better about things that tilt you at the time. Okay, so, yeah, we're just re-rolling. For me, 3 stars. Another thing about Glacier Knights, I don't try to go to 9 generally. I try to get my 3 stars. So there's just certain builds in the game where you want to go to 9, and there's certain builds where you want to stay at level 8 and you want to get 3 stars. So, examples, Glacier Knights, get 3 stars. Stay at 8, get 3 stars. Assassins, stay at 8, get 3 stars. 3 Hunter Warrior, go to 9, right? 6 Warrior Beast, stay at 8, get 3 star, get quality, right? So when you run a comp, just keep in mind, not all comps should stay at level 8. Not all comps should target 3 stars as much. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're learning comps too, to understand what level they should be and if you should be targeting 3 stars or not. And with Glacier Knight, your targets for 3 star are Hell Knight, Lightblade Knight, and Frost Knight. Those 3 you can hit most games, right? Unless you get truly, truly unlucky. And it's going to look a lot like this is looking. Like, I could die here, and we're just walking the razor's edge, right? I need 1 Lightblade Knight. Now I need 1 Evil Knight. Oh, there we go. Hit the Lightblade. Bam. Use the egg. Definitely. Get that 3 star. Oh, please use it. Yep, good. We use it. And that other egg I do want to save for Soul Reaper. There could be an argument there to save the egg because, say I hit another Lightblade Knight, then I can save the egg for my Hell Knight, or I can save it for my Soul Reaper. But if you look at my health, I only have 17 health, which at this point in the game is 1 loss, right? If I lose to some of these people badly, I'm just out of the game, so I'm not going to risk it. It's just not worth it. And we end up fighting, yep, this is the Kira, the warrior. So that should go fine. This person I would expect to beat once we have our 3 stars like this. So, yep. And it looks like we are. Obviously, if we can get our Soul Reaper, that's going to help boost us up, but yep. So we also are beating them. There we go. And we are just climbing up. By the way, if you notice, 3 bottom teams fought over Berserker. All of us finally hit, but at the same time, we are all at the bottom of the rankings right now. So fighting for certain pieces can get rough. And if you've noticed, since I got my Berserker, I've just been seeing nonstop Berserker. So that's just the game trolling me, is how I look at it. But anyways, I think I should reroll. Oh, I stopped rerolling there because it's minion round, and if I reroll and I hit a, say I hit a Soul Reaper, I wouldn't have victory gold, so I would have, my only choice would be to lock for the Soul Reaper. So that's why I'm pretty sure I didn't keep rerolling. But after this minion round, I would be surprised if I don't reroll down more to try to hit my Hell Knight. So as long as I'll have 2 gold left, I think I'll keep rerolling. And we are getting lucky with items, so that is nice. Here I'm thinking about the item, and notice, the game recommends I put it on Lightblade Knight, but I don't do that. Why? Because I want to put it on Berserker. Why do I want to put it on Berserker? Because there are 6 Feather players left in the game. So I want my Lightblade Knight and I want my Berserker to both be able to hit those Feather players, right? That item makes its 50% chance, enemies only have a 50% chance of avoiding you. So there I have to make the hard choice. It's like, do you keep the egg, or do I use the egg on the Soul Reaper? And yeah, so it just was a rough time. I decided to keep the egg, and I still think that's the right play. The thing is if I would have used the egg on the Soul Reaper, then 1, it's a bad econ move, because I spent 5 gold when I could have spent 4 gold. 2, if now I have to get 3 Hell Knights. Now, like, the point in the game now is I only need to get 2 Hell Knights. So I think that was the right play. So anyways, we're going, by the way, if you notice, we're fighting that 6 Feather player, and if I would have doubled up the dodge item onto my Lightblade Knight, then I wouldn't have had as much success. Like, look at my Berserker is almost tied with my 3-star Lightblade Knight in damage, and I think a big reason for that is I did put that, I don't know, dodge prevention item onto him. So, anyways, there we go. Soul Reaper, yep, definitely onto that. I could wait to try to make an Orb of Refreshing, but if you think about Soul Reaper, he has a really quick cooldown. So, I mean, double ults are nice and all, but do I want to wait 3 rounds to try to hit an Orb of Refreshing? I don't think so. The game's probably over. I'm probably into I'm probably into 2nd place or out 4th place in 3 rounds. So let's see if I'm right or wrong, but that would be my decision making. So we're looking, we're playing, we're beating this person, and the 3-star dwarf sniper is just scary. So anyways, there we go. We are stomping from our point of view, and okay, last place does hold on, it looks like. And how about this person? That person holds on, so yep, still top 4. Oh, and meta mode. Good game, well played. Shout out to you if you are watching this video. Thank you for sending the love in game, and then me just having some good manners, you know. Good manners. Love Squirrel Nation. I always appreciate when people shout out to me in game, and I always try to be friendly about it. So if you see me in game, please don't be shy. Okay, another strange egg. It's like, oh. So, I remember this game now. So what ends up happening is I take this egg, and the reason why is because my thinking is, okay, well now I can hit a strange egg, and then I could use a 2-star strange egg to make a 3-star Hell Knight. But it's like it's just such a weird thing. The game is trolling me, and you'll see that even more, I think, later on. Because if I remember correctly, I end up getting like the Hell Knight with 1 other. So there we go. And yeah, see, the marksman beats us from our point of view. Anyways, we are to top 3, and let's see. In this case, yep, we do lock for the egg. And see, this is a hard choice, because I don't even, and if anybody knows the actual statistical chance of getting a strange egg, I would love to know that. Because my thing here was, what's the chance of me getting 1 more strange egg versus the chance of me getting 3 more or 2 more Hell Knights, right? And it was like, yeah, that was just driving me crazy. I'm switching sides so that I can engage on the Hunter player better. And so you'll see in the next rounds, what actually happens is I should have moved up even more. The reason I'm holding back here is because we're fighting the Hunter, I believe. Actually, no, even against the Hunter, I should have moved my formation up. Because at this point, nobody has anything that jumps in. We just killed the person who had assassins. So I should front so that my Berserker and my Lightblade Knight are instantly hitting the enemies, because my team jumping to this marksman is what's giving them that time to get off their CC and kill me. So you're going to notice I do change my position, and that kind of helps me out. So me and this marksman, the top player now. So now to top 2. Okay, by the way, like we said, by round 35, so the next time I would have a chance to get items, we're into 2nd place. So that's where, I mean, I technically could have waited for Orb of Refresh, and also notice I wouldn't even have got an Orb of Refresh, right? I had to get a Ring of Life. So guaranteed power when you're fighting for a top 3 finish versus a 4th place finish, take the guarantee instead of gambling for the return. I think that's the way to go. And Flash Dagger, nope, I'm not gonna, I think, did I get it? Oh yeah, I remember. So this is the Hunter is left, and I believe we are gonna end up using the Flash Dagger on our Frost Knight, if I remember correctly. And yeah, we're just trying to get the Evil Knight. See, the game's trolling me. I need 1 Evil Knight. And keep in mind, the reason I'm not selling the egg to reroll is I'm like, if I get this, and that's why you see the pause there, I'm like deciding, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's my chance of hitting an egg versus my chance of hitting 1 more Evil Knight, right? Should I, and it's like we said, if I have 1 bad loss, I'm out of the game. Not even a bad loss at this point. Basically, if I lose, I'm probably out of the game. So I'm like really trying to think, what should I do? And I sold the egg because I was like, okay, the egg, I'm pretty sure I have a lower chance to get, and it's worth more gold, so I can reroll twice if I sell the egg, whereas I could only reroll once off of the gold from a Hell Knight. So here, notice almost, like, thank God the Frost Knight got that last hit in. So anyways, I'm evaluating my positioning, and I realize, you know what? Why am I positioned far back? Like, I realize it at this point, so you'll notice that I'm going to advance my position, and it's going to help me tremendously. You're gonna notice a huge difference here. So, anyways, hopefully you're all seeing why I chose this game. It is a very interesting, thrilling game. At this point, oh yeah, we get our Flash Dagger on. I still don't realize that I should have fronted up, but I'm pretty sure it's this next round I realize it. And I guess we can spend this time talking about that. Like, the reason you should move up, and it'll be very easy to see once we do it this next round, is because if you notice now, my Berserker and my Lightblade Knight, they attack slowly. So Dwarf Sniper attacks as soon as the round begins because everything of mine is within range. And we finally get our 3-star, thank the heavens. Everything is within range. But my Berserker and my Lightblade Knight have to wait for my front line to jump forward, and then they have to jump forward, right? Because both of them are 3 range. So 3 range when you're in the very back row means you can't even hit anything to start the game. So that was a problem. I finally realized the reason I'm stacking my Berserker and my Lightblade behind each other is now both of them are going to focus on the Skull Basher. So notice what happens to enemy front line. Ready? Goodbye. Right? They just instantly gone. So if you notice how huge of a difference that makes. Yes, I hit a 3-star Evil Knight, but that's the 3-star Evil Knight is not why the Berserker or the Skull Basher instantly got destroyed. So anyways, this formation is working. Unfortunately, we're not heavily beating them, but we are beating them. So I'm going to keep monitoring. At this point, I have no upgrades. Just monitor the enemy position. Like, that is definitely the play right now. So I'm just watching. Is he going to adjust, right? When you win, when your position wins, don't change it. But if your position wins and the enemy adjusts to it, then you need to make sure you adjust. So, yeah, that's kind of my thinking in this case, right? So I was watching him, and see, his front line just disappears. So once again, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. If it doesn't make sense, I highly recommend you go back and you watch these last few rounds, and you notice the difference between when I'm at the very back versus when I'm in the front. So see, I start to crush, right? Just crush him now. So Glacier Clan's coming up. We need to reposition. And I'm trying to decide if I should give you spoilers. I'm not going to give you spoilers. We're going to watch the end together, and you can feel what I feel. Let me just say the ending comes down to multitasking, and it comes down to prioritizing your attention, prioritizing your actions, right? All of us have a certain actions per minute, actions per second, whatever you want to call it, right? How many things we can do in a set time frame, and the result of this game is directly correlated to where I choose to spend my actions, where I spend my focus. And when this happens, I will be very sure to point it out to you all. So we're fighting. Great thing about Glacier Knights is you can beat the Glacier Clan. If you notice, the warriors do not do well against Glacier Clan. Glacier Clan, you have to have beefy tanks and a lot of damage. So anyways, now he's down to 3 health. I'm 1. This is the last round. So I'm like, okay, I was saving gold to go to 9 because that was my upgrade. Okay, good. Okay, get our position back. Okay, here we go. Get our Venomance, get our 9th unit in. Oh my god. Okay, and we got a ton of items, right? Let's put these items. Who cares? Combine. Throw the items. Oh my god. I need to put my Venomancer. 9, 8, 7. Put the items. Oh my god, hurry, please. Oh my gosh, everything. This formation was working. Hurry. 3, 2, put in Venomancer. Put in Venomancer. Oh, we don't get him in. And notice the enemy switch position, and yeah, I lose. I get stomped. So, moral of the story is there I was like, I got so many items, I'm going to put them on, and it's going to carry me to victory, right? And I give him the good game. That was a great fought game, and that was a very nice reposition by him, and it was sneaky. Because he didn't reposition those other rounds, and then he switched sides. Because he realized, I think, the same thing that I realized when I moved up aggressively, is he needs space for my team. So he repositioned the other side. But if you notice in that, I was being distracted by the items. I focused on the items, and that's not where I should have spent my time. As soon as I bought that Venomancer, 1, I should have put it on the board, and 2, I should have just watched my enemy's position. Because once again, I was beating him given our positions. So at that point, I think it's more, I need to make sure I have that positional advantage more than I need to worry about the items. The items I don't think make up for the position. So anyways, I think this was a great game. Hopefully you all learned something, and I threw this game. I should have got first place in my opinion. I threw it because I spent my attention poorly. And that's the other reason I really wanted to show you all this game, is because this is a great example at a high level how important it is to spend your focus wisely. Last point I want to make is, if you look, my economy. I have 287 gold, he had 277, so I did have 10 more economy, even though our win-loss records are exactly the same. And that economy correlates directly to me riding win streaks, riding lose streaks, and managing my economy a little bit better than him. So if you're new to the game, learn how to economy. It's going to carry you. Your economy can carry you with suboptimal builds, and builds are easy. You can just copy them from top players. It's not hard. But if you learn how to economy, you're going to always give yourself a good chance to win games. Anyways, that's the end note for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, take care, happy ranking, and I will talk with you all tomorrow.